Then alternate kettlebell swing, figure eight into a squat, drop it to the side, lunge with the momentum, bring it back, switch hands, repeat, looking side. It's a pretty hot and sunny day here, so at the park, and since I was at the gym yesterday and got to do some of my, like, I guess, gym sort of exercises out of the way, going to do more steel mace and kettlebell flow stuff and some kettlebell juggling. So for the first set of exercises, doing a swing squat to a figure eight, and then steel mace 360s. So with the swing squat, I start with the kettlebell kind of like ahead of me, sit down kind of like I was getting into a kettlebell swing. As I swing it forward, squat back, figure eight, kettlebell goes to the opposite hand, and repeat. Teaching the body how to move with the weight and momentum, but in a flowy way, which means like I'm not actively like contracting my bicep, if that makes sense. I'm not actively like thinking about an oblique rotation or whatever to get the weight to the position it needs to be in. Instead, I'm just moving instinctively, if that makes sense, and how my body wants to. Then with the steel mace, doing steel mace 360s. This is my 15-pound one. I believe the first time I ever used a steel mace was around episode 100 maybe, or somewhere around there, and my form was pretty bad then. So since then, I've made a lot of improvement to my form. Also, feeling pretty good on the shoulder. It seems like there's a slight soreness when I do it, but nothing to be concerned about. I'm still going to keep the volume fairly low. Gonna do this for 5 sets and then on to something else. So for the next set of exercises, doing so this complex with the kettlebell, I guess I'll walk you guys through what I'm doing. I saw this on Instagram on Daring 101, real name Colin Daring's page. So starts off with a single hand suitcase deadlift, side step. This forces a stretch in the groin and some recruitment of the legs. Row, clean, figure eight snatch, shoulder press, back down, and repeat the other side. Going to do uh, at least 5 on each side. So within the complex, there is a lot of work. So cage deadlift is glutes, hamstrings, core. Step is groin and quads. The clean is shoulders mostly. Then figure 8 snatch, pretty much full body, core, a little bit of legs. Then shoulder press, shoulders, and then repeat. But while performing the movement, you don't necessarily want to think about those individual components. You want to flow with the weight rather than actively contract your muscles. Like, you're not trying to do mind muscle connection necessarily when you're doing these kinds of exercises. Though you do want to be aware of what you're using. Unlike bodybuilding exercises, you don't want to get too carried away with the slow contractions or whatever. It's more about flowing with the weight. It doesn't have to be overly fast either. It just needs to be smooth. Also, the row involves the back. I forgot to mention that, but it is what it is. Also, to do the movements in the right sequence, time, your mind has to be present. So there is coordination involved. You're remembering the sequence. So it kind of becomes a mental exercise along with it being a physical exercise. Then with the steel mace, gonna do 5 steel mace 360s to lunges. In a future video, I want to think of a way that you can make a steel mace with everyday objects, because I've noticed there are quite a few things that can behave like a steel mace, and I just, like, if you have like branches or whatever, not branches, like long, like thick pieces of, or thick sticks or whatever, or a leftover broomstick, you can modify that a little to make your own lightweight steel mace. Anyway, gonna do these two for a bit, and then on to something else. So for the next set of movements, Uh, it's humid here. I'm getting pretty drenched, but I'll still be here for the full 2 hours, and I'm at the hour mark. There's something about getting extra exhausted during the summers, and then when you go home and have something like cold water, even, and it just feels so much more quenching than so much more quenching and delicious than water when you're not tired. And I also bought some sugar-free lemonade, so that's going to be extremely fun to drink after I get home. But in any case, for the next set of movements with the steel mace, I'm going to do steel mace 360 to a squat or a drop squat. Looks like this. So as the weight comes around, dropping it, catching it, and falling into the squat at the same time, letting the weight fall between my legs and flowing and trying to flow seamlessly between the 360, the squat, the transition into the opposing hand. And then with the kettlebell, so this is going to be another complex. First I'm going to show a version without a flip, and then I'll show the version that I'm going to do with the flip. Starting off with an alternate kettlebell swing, figure 8 into a squat, drop it to the side, lunge with the momentum, bring it back, switch hands, repeat, looking to the side, dropping it, bring the knee down with the momentum of the kettlebell, and switching hands, but this time I'm gonna flip. If you don't time the drop of the knee as the momentum of the kettlebell is moving away, you'll notice it. I noticed it right there. My timing was a little off because I was getting a little tired, started slacking a little, and then my timing was but yeah, I'm gonna do these two for a bit. Might do one more exercise, but as usual, when I bring my kettlebell to the park, I'm gonna do some freestyle at the end. So for the final set of movements before I move into kettlebell juggling, I'm gonna do steel mace 360 to a side drop to a Cossack squat. All of that looks like this. Picking up the pace a little. So with the first couple of reps, I get the sequence dialed in and try to do it smooth. Then after that, try to go fast, or faster at least. But you don't want to go so fast that you get it wrong. And also, form always more important than speed. So, yeah, if your form's bad, don't go fast. And then going to finish it off with some knee raises. Just trying to hit exhaustion with that. Gonna do like 4 or 5 sets of this, and then on to some freestyle. So moving into some freestyle. With freestyle, I usually just kind of do what my body and mind want to do. I kind of keep some goals as far as certain tricks I want to get within a freestyle, but then whatever gets me there gets me there. I don't know, but right now I have no goals, so let's see where it takes me. Not bad for first take. Woo. Not bad. That was bad. Shit. It is what it is. After, like, I miss one move, then, like, the whole concentration kind of breaks down, and then it's like, screw it. Not bad. Whew, that was a good one. That's it for freestyle. And I think that's probably it for today's video. I'm just gonna mess around for a little bit more and then head home. But yeah, so far it's been an hour and 40 minutes, 940 calories burnt. So should get to 1,000 here pretty quick. And then yeah, that'll be it. That's all for today's video. See you all tomorrow.